Welcome to Blowing Solutions Wide Open, where we're talking about all things spiritual as well as creating new systems in the area of finance, healthcare, government, education, and new environmental practices. My name is Addie Halkin. Thank you for being with me. If you think that you have ideas or things to share in any of the areas I just mentioned, please feel free to email me at blowingsolutionswideopen@gmail.com, or you can put the word guest in the comment section of this video, and I would be happy to get back with you and see what you have to share and potentially get you on this channel. This channel is about really connecting with each other, sharing what we know. We know a lot. We know a lot more than we have been led to believe. And if you think that you have ideas around making the planet better or making things easier and happier for humanity in areas that I didn't mention, I would also be very much open to that. Let's just start talking. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all those things. The more you do that, the more I come up on your feed. I shouldn't say this channel comes up on your feed, as well as, just getting these alternative pieces of information out to the collective. I think that's what we need right now. And that's why this whole channel got created to begin with. Anyhow, today I want to talk about another documentary I watched. It was called Fantastic Fungi. Apparently that's what my life has come to, is documentaries about fungus and mushrooms. Anyhow, I'll be honest, I didn't really want to watch this one. I'm not overly interested in mushrooms and fungus and psychedelics and things of this nature. I almost turned it off, but I kind of thought to myself, everything's interconnected. And mushrooms are part of our ecosystem. So I thought there's got to be something in there that, I can learn about and share. And if not, whatever, it's an hour of my life wasted. No big deal. So I did stick with this whole documentary. First half of it, I could have fallen asleep for sure. But it actually ended up getting a lot better. I am not somebody who absorbs information very well in the form of facts and analytics and things of that nature. So I did write down a lot of what I watched, and I'm going to read that to you. I'm also going to link the link of this documentary in the description of this video, as well as the comment section. If you happen to be somebody that's interested in this kind of thing, go watch it. It'll certainly be better than me reading these off, but I am going to give you kind of the basics of what this documentary is about. And I definitely learned some things. I'm glad I watched it. So also, when I use the word fungi, fungus, mushrooms, things like that, I feel like they were just kind of used really interchangeably in this documentary. So I think it's kind of just talking about mushrooms and I guess mold in general. I'm not really sure, but it all kind of felt like they were talking about the same thing, as far as the words they were using. Anyhow, let me get started here. Fungus generates soil that gives life. Fungi is what decomposes things and puts the nutrients back into the soil. Plants and animals don't connect unless you have fungi, because fungi are the connectors of the ecosystem. Fungi can break down and decompose anything that is hydrocarbon based, such as oil spills and pollution problems. So that one got my attention because it taught me something that I didn't know. As far as like certain pollution problems we have on the planet, these mushrooms and what they're composed of have the ability to help clean that up. That's pretty exciting, actually. The bulk of the mushroom organism is growing underground in a network of very long threads that branch out everywhere, and the mass of the threads is called mycelium. This mycelium has more neural pathways than our brains. So these are very intelligent creatures. When you're walking through the forest, there's about 300 miles of fungi per every step you take, and that's all over the world. And I think they were specifically referring to 300 miles of mycelium underneath the ground. So these things are massive. In fact, it sounds like underneath the soil, the most prevalent thing is mycelium. Trees and plants are communicating and feeding each other by using mycelium pathways. Mycelium can theoretically live for as long as it has food. So in the film, it showed like the earth becoming dark and, the conditions being really bad. I don't know if this actually happened or they were just giving a theoretical, but they were talking about how fungi is really the only thing that can withstand really terrible conditions on the planet. I guess they're tougher than really anything. And so, if our sun, suddenly went away and we had really bad conditions, they're saying that really the one thing that would continue to be here is fungi. So they're very hardy. Plants put 70% of carbon below ground, and fungi are really important for establishing carbon in the soil. Without fungi, we would have no bread, wine, beer, chocolate, yogurt, soy sauce, no forest, which would mean no oxygen. There would be no environment as we know it. Fungi is the glue that holds everything together. Mushroom research has shown that plants and fungi really need each other to share the load through mycelium. Remember, those are those, I almost want to say like roots, but they're, what are connected to the mushrooms, but they're underneath ground and they go on and on and on forever. And so it's saying that, the other plants as well as trees are really communicating with each other through these pathways. Mushroom research has shown that plants and fungi really need each other to share the load through mycelium and the decomposition process. If we start to understand this, we could change our ecosystem fast. So that's pretty cool because what it's saying is things like trees, plants, things other than just mushrooms are communicating with each other through these mycelium pathways. It's basically the communication lines of the plant world underground. So the mycelium network is our ally, and it could hold keys to help us heal our lives and our planet. We just need to take the wisdom that is below ground and bring it above. Experiments have shown that mycelium's antiviral properties have the ability to fight viruses in bees. Viruses are the number one reason for the decline of bees. 1/3 of our crops grown rely on cross-pollination from bees to produce the plants and food that we need. The same mushrooms that reduce viruses in bees also reduce viruses in birds, pigs, and humans. Lion's mane is a mushroom that stimulates nerves to regrow. Some have questioned if this mushroom could be an effective treatment for Alzheimer's. So apparently it's really helpful to our memory. Humans are most closely related to fungi than any other kingdom. Mushrooms produce molecules that fit the receptors in the human brain and body. And I kind of wonder if this is nature's way of, telling us that we should be using them. At one point in history, the human brain tripled in size in a matter of a 2 million year span. In the world of evolution, this is a very short period of time. Those experts on this documentary speculated that some of the increase in the size of the cortex of the brain was likely due to the very common consumed mushrooms from those living on the planet at that time. Mushrooms and other psychedelics release synesthesia. Synesthesia is a perception of one sensory modality. For example, hearing colors or seeing music. These magic mushrooms open up the floodgates of information that you can receive. It's like a contact fluid between the synapses of the brain. In the 50s and 60s, psychedelics were the cutting edge of psychiatric research. Psychedelics were found to be the strongest predictor, with only one session, of alcoholics maintaining their sobriety. When people have taken psilocybin therapy, so from my understanding, psilocybin is some kind of molecule that they get out of what they call magic mushrooms, and they put it into a pill form. And in this therapy, people take this pill. What they showed is that, they have the patient that takes this pill lay down on the couch or whatever, and uh, they had them, with earphones like this on, listening to some kind of, some kind of music, some kind of relaxing music, and then they just encourage this person to just see what comes up and not, my hair, not judge it, just see what comes up. And so what they're saying is that in this therapy, the results have been very encouraging. In this documentary, 1/3 of the participants said it was the single most spiritually significant event in their life. 70% of the participants said it was in the top 5 most meaningful experiences in their life. That's pretty amazing. Many people report less anxiety, less depression, less preoccupation with pain, closer interpersonal relationships, and a loss of fear of death after taking psilocybin. The beauty of this is that psilocybin is not a chronic drug. It can alleviate anxiety and depression for months. It's not like Western meds that you have to keep taking day after day. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen that those work very well anyway. It's just my observation, but there was an experiment done at the University of Southern Florida. Mice were trained to have a conditioned response to a certain sound. When they treated the mice with psilocybin, the compound in magic mushrooms, the mice ended up disassociating that neural link. The mice overcame the fear conditioned response. They were no longer using the same neurological neurons that they had been using before they took the psilocybin. So this means that the brain has plasticity, is able to heal, and is able to grow. It just needs the right compounds to help it develop new neurological pathways. And so, as I stated before, they're saying that we have like the perfect receptors to something with mushrooms. I don't remember what it was, but it sounds like these mushrooms and the components they have are kind of a perfect fit to our brain chemistry. So this mice study stuck out to me for the potential of this doing the same thing for humans, especially for those struggling with depression and anxiety. Perhaps this is a solution to the use of harmful Western medications that so many are taking to manage uncomfortable feelings. This film talked about there being a great need for people to study mushrooms. Anyone can go walking into the woods and potentially discover a new species. We're a vast network of molecules, energy, and wavelengths. As humans, animals, plants, and fungi, we are interconnected. Communities survive better than individuals. Communities rely on cooperation through mutual benefit and generosity. One man in this documentary described this work as not being at the top of a pyramid, but rather being part of a circle, and the circle is made up of mycelium holding us all together. So I kind of like that last part because for me, I really feel like planet Earth has been run like a corporation, like a pyramid corporation, where there's a few people on the top, you know, making all this decisions and controlling everything. And the rest of us are just kind of at the whims of that, and it's not working. And we know it. And I think that we would be really smart to really look at nature and look at what they're talking about. Our ecosystem works in a circle. There's no one person above anybody else or one species above anybody else. And so that kind of stuck out. I am not a real groupie type of person. I need a lot of space. I need a lot of alone time. I'm much more introverted. So for me to be saying that, it's simply because I recognize that, we really do work better in communities than we do completely isolated, doing our own thing, and certainly better than we do operating out of some pyramid scheme is really what planet Earth feels like to me at this point. But anyhow, that's kind of what I saw in the documentary. Some of the things that really stood out to me are the information around cleaning up certain, pollutants. I am somebody who doesn't, I think I have quite a mold allergy. And so seeing pictures of fungus wasn't my favorite. But as I started to understand the benefit to it, they described it as like the digestive tract of the ecosystem. And it basically just, decomposes everything. And so I understand better about the kind of the usefulness of mold and fungus and all these things. And I didn't realize it could help clean up pollution, and that's a big deal. We got a lot of that right now on our planet. The other thing that really stuck out to me is the kind of psychedelic aspect of this. I personally have never been interested in psychedelics, but there's a lot of people struggling with difficult emotions and their mental conditions. And uh, I don't see that the medical industry is really doing much other than harming people. And so, when they talk about something completely natural that comes with nature that fits your brain receptors, and you only have to take it here and there to get the benefits, there's a reason our insurance companies and our medical system doesn't really encourage this. It's because it's not a really good business model, but it is actually a great thing for humanity. And so I know that if I had emotions that I couldn't deal with myself, the first thing I would do is go to mushrooms or THC or something like that. I don't know. I just think that we need to really pay attention to that and start understanding that it's in it. Not only is it an alternative, but I think it's better than any of these drugs that we've been led to believe are so great. Um, Anyways, yeah, those are some of the things that I enjoyed about the documentary. If you are a mushroom nerd and you feel inclined, I'll put the link in the description and the comment section of this video to go watch that documentary. Um, and that's what I have to say for today. I'm glad I watched it. I learned some things, and I will catch you on another video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.